What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. Huge thank you to Nick Yazdani over at Koons, Tysons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Wrangler Sahara or any Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram product, I'll be sure to have Nick's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It's actually a really nice day outside here today, whereas the past few days have been too hot and too humid, whereas today it's a nice mix of like being relatively hot, but there's really no humidity, which is awesome. But with that stuff out of the way, first, let's talk about the exterior and the performance. So, like I said, this is a 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. One of the first things I wanted to say is that with the Sahara trim level, you can only get it in the 4-door configuration. And then also, this particular one has been painted in the $595 Sarge Green clear coat, which is one of the coolest colors I think that you can get, or one of the cool colors that I think you can get on the Jeep Wrangler. Reason being is that it kind of looks like the color of the Willys, except this is gloss anyways. But for 2024, the Wrangler as a whole did get a redesigned grille that is slightly smaller than the 2023 model year. Then you also get a couple new colors and a larger infotainment system on the interior, which I'll show you when we move into the interior. But working our way to the center of the front end, like I just mentioned, you get an updated satin black 7-slot grille with silver rings. And then you also get a body color grille surround. And then this particular one has the optional $2,295 technology group, which gives you this forward-facing camera with that washer. But taking a step back, as standard with the Sahara, you get LED headlights as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. You could get automatic high beams, but that comes at a price, and the automatic high beams come a part of the $1,295 safety group. But coming down just a tad bit on our front end, you get a satin black plastic front bumper with 2 integrated black tow hooks, one on the passenger side of the front bumper and obviously one on the driver's side of the front bumper. And then you also get silver trim surrounds around your fog light area on both sides as well. And then if you were wondering about the ground clearance, you get 10 inches flat of ground clearance, and then you get a couple skid plates as standard with the Sahara, and those skid plates protect your fuel tank, your transfer case, and your transmission. Now with the Sahara, this is the same thing as the 2023 and below model years. You get body color fender flares, and then also as standard with the Sahara for the 2024 model year, you get these 18-inch machine face with gray pocket wheels, and these wheels are wrapped in 255/70 Bridgestone Dueler HT tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on those tires. The Sahara is pretty much the road-going variant of the Wrangler. It's kind of like the luxury model-ish, I guess you could say, of the Wrangler. So you get all the niceties of the interior, you get the look of a Jeep, but this is, again, one of the more road-going Wrangler trim levels to choose from. And then one thing that's also pretty cool is that your center cap is a Willys. I'm going to turn you guys upside down. You can see the center cap is a Willys Jeep, which is so cool. I like that little transition that just happened there unintentionally with the GoPro camera shot there. Working our way down the side, I think I just swallowed a bug. You get these satin black looking fender vents. I'm not sure if they are functional, but I can almost feel like heat dissipating out of the engine bay. And then also with the Sahara, you get all this silver badging. That's a closer look at that. And then all the way down here, it says Wrangler, and you get a nice little United States flag at the end of that. Same thing is mimicked on the passenger side. But working our way into the side view mirrors, you get satin black side mirrors, and they are manual folding, power adjustable, and heated as standard. This one does not have this option, but you could get this option. You could get blind spot monitoring, which comes a part of the $1,295 safety group. Again, this one is not optioned with that. But let's do a little side profile shot of the Sahara. So, you know, side profile looks pretty much the exact same as the 2023 model year. Really, the updates come at the front end and on the interior for the 2024 model year. But this particular one has been optioned with the $1,695 body color 3-piece hardtop. So essentially, you get 2 Freedom tops up here at the front, and then this whole back area is all 1 piece, so it makes it very easy to take off the 2 pieces up here at the front end, so the driver can take off those pieces. You know, if you're going into work and you want a little bit of extra air, it's basically kind of like a sunroof, except it comes off in 2 pieces. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Then you also get satin black window trim, satin black door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind that the keyless access function is only on the front 2 doors. The rear 2 doors do not get that keyless access function. And then coming back just a tad bit, your fuel door is satin black, and it's almost painted in like a bed liner type of material. One thing that's pretty cool is that the fuel door itself is kind of like a metal material. You can hear it when you beat on it. And then working our way to the back end, also with that body color 3-piece hardtop. That includes the rear window defroster and the rear wiper and washer. So the Sahara actually does come standard with a soft top, but again, this one has been optioned with the hardtop, and with the hardtop, you get the rear window defroster and the rear wiper. I'm sorry I had to reiterate that, but there's a loud truck driving by. So if you couldn't hear it, you could hear it again for a second time. But as standard also with the Sahara, you get LED taillights as well as a full-size spare tire. The backup camera is located at the center of your spare tire. There's a closer look at that backup camera. And then also, I want to show you what we got going on here in the trunk space, but you do get keyless access on this door handle back here. So just make sure you have your key fob in your pocket, okay, which I don't. So you have to have your key fob in your pocket in order to open up that. So the vehicle is locked. Again, just make sure you have your key fob in your pocket like I have now. Put your hand under here and this back area will open up. It's a 2-piece, so this piece opens, the tailgate, and then this piece opens, and then you have full access into the trunk. Quite a bit of storage space back here. I would say you could probably fit 8 carry-on suitcases back here if you stacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You also get a 12-volt power outlet on this side as well. This one has the optional $170 all-weather floor mats, basically rubber floor mats. And then underneath everything back here, you get a little bit of storage space that you could set jumper cables or, you know, miscellaneous items like that. I'm going to throw that back in there. Get an Alpine sound system with the technology group, which this vehicle has, but I'll get into that in a minute. Gotta close the top piece first, then I gotta close this piece here. I'm gonna grab onto the license plate, bear with me, boom. Now that area is closed, and then working our way down, you get a satin black rear bumper. Also with the safety group, if you got that, this one doesn't have it, you get 4 backup sensors back here, but as standard, you get a satin black rear bumper, you get a tow hook back here, 1 singular tow hook, let's closer look at that, and 2 reflectors. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on with the Sahara. Let me know what you think of the 2024 model year, for the changes for the 2024 model year. In my opinion, I think not only Jeep, but Ford has also been killing it with their redesigns. I think the new 2024 F-150 looks awesome. I think Jeep did a great job with the slight revisions done to the Jeep Wrangler as well. I think it looks pretty much the exact same, except slightly updated. I like the smaller grille, actually. I think it looks great, but I know that's a subjective opinion, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you disagree with me, you know, we can have some friendly banter, but if you agree with me, you know, we can also talk about that. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter turbo inline 4-cylinder that makes 270 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in roughly 8 seconds. If you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 20 in the city, 20 on the highway for 20 miles per gallon combined. It's kind of interesting that all the fuel economy figures are the exact same, but hey, that's just the way it is. By the way, obviously it's 4-wheel drive, it's a Jeep, but if you are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I am now trying to hit 100,000 subscribers, and I'm quite a ways away from there, and I cannot get to 100,000 without your support. So if you've taken anything from this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Can't get anywhere without your support. I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, like I mentioned a little bit ago in the video, you do get keyless access. Make sure you have your key fob in your pocket. Walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pressing on that button right there, and now the vehicle is locked. I wanted to show you a couple of the functions on the key fob. Obviously, you have your unlock and your lock functions and your panic function, but as standard with the Sahara, you get remote start. Just press that button twice. Vehicle will beep twice, and then it will fire up. And that is what the 2-liter sounds like when it fires up. Moving into the interior, let's take a look at the driver's side door panel. Now, this is a Jeep, so obviously you get the removable doors. So with that in mind, you get a pretty basic looking door panel. However, you do get a nicely wrapped area right here with some accent colored stitching, and the armrest is padded. You also get a satin chrome looking door handle. You have your power side, your mirror controls here, your unlock and your lock functions, and some mesh storage space at the bottom of your door panel. Now, taking a look at the driver and the front passenger seat, this one has the optional $1,995 McKinley trimmed power seats. So essentially what you get with that package include these power front seats, and they are an 8-way power front seat with 4-way power lumbar. Taking a look at the seats themselves, they are leather. You can see the Sahara stitched into the seat back, and you know, that's a look at the seat. That's a look at the seat controls. But now let's step into the interior. So this is what the interior looks like. Boom, you can see what's new for the 2024 model year. So as standard, I think on all the trim levels of the Wrangler now is the 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 infotainment system with the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. I'm going to roll a couple windows down so we get some cross flow going in here, because I don't want to have the HVAC system on, because that will mess with the audio. So anyway, starting over here, you have your headlight controls. All the way to the left is headlights off. That's daytime running lights on. That's headlights in the always on position, and then all the way to the right is headlights in automatic. Pressing on that button will turn your fog lights on or off. This scroll knob here is to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster, as well as your backlit buttons. And then you do get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Flip down on that, and then the steering wheel will come towards you. It'll go away from you, and then it also moves up and down to your liking. Again, it's all personal preference with that. But let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. You get a nice wrapped steering wheel. I don't believe that it is leather, but it is a leather feeling material. And then you get some accent stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. Obviously at the center, you have your horn. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the 2023 Wrangler. And then working our way from the left to the right, starting over here, these arrows in the OK button are to control your 7-inch productivity screen located at the center of your gauge cluster. And then that is to pick up on a phone call, that is to hang up on a phone call, and then that is to speak to the vehicle. The integrated voice command comes a part of the $2,295 technology group, and that gives you that button right there. And then moving our way over to here, as standard with the Sahara, you get adaptive cruise control with stop and go, which is what these controls on the right hand side of the steering wheel are for. And then behind that, you have your windshield wiper control stock. Now working our way into the gauge cluster. On the left hand side, you have your RPM gauge. On the right hand side, you have your speedometer. And then that lets you know what the transfer case status is. So right now we're in 2 high. You also have 4 high and 4 low. Obviously you get a 2-speed transfer case and true neutral, by the way, with that transfer case. Up top there, you have your compass. Up top there, you have your ambient exterior temperature. That's the digital speedometer readout. That is your coolant temperature gauge. That's your fuel gauge. That's your transmission status, letting us know that we're in park. And then all the way at the bottom is your odometer. But again, this is a configurable screen. So if we want to go throughout this screen, you click down and that will bring you into the vehicle info. So you can see your tire pressure stuff, your coolant temperature, your trans temperature, your oil pressure, your oil life, and your battery voltage. Now I'm just gonna click down and that will bring you into your off-road stuff. So you can see the drivetrain and or the pitch and roll stuff. Clicking down one more time will bring you into your driver assistance stuff. You can see adaptive cruise control right now is off. Clicking down one more time will bring you into the fuel economy screen. So this is one screen. That is the second screen with your fuel range on that screen. Coming down, you have your trip A and your trip B information stuff. One more time, that's stop start stuff. One more, you get your audio stuff. Then you have your messages. Then you can have your screen setup. So you can set what you want up top there. You can set what you want over there. You can go into the defaults. You can see the current gear if you wanted to, and so on and so forth. You can set it up exactly how you want it to be. But to exit out of that, you click to the left here, and then you can go back into this. And this is the screen that I would leave my Jeep on if this was, you know, my personal vehicle, because, you know, I think that's just what works best at all times. You get an OPU panel over here for the driver. You get another OPU panel on that side for the front passenger. You get a little bit of storage space up top here for a phone, a GoPro, or, you know, something like that. But with the technology group, you get the Alpine premium sound system. So you get a speaker over there, you get a speaker over there, and then working our way down to here. Not only do you get that new infotainment system, but with that new infotainment system, rather than having the circular HVAC vents like you find on the outsides of the dash, Now you get these slim, more streamlined, boxy looking HVAC vents, one for the driver and one for the passenger. But before we get into this kind of stuff, I want to go throughout this screen rather quickly. So on the left hand side of the screen, you have your different shortcut buttons. Starting from the top, you have your home. So this is what your home screen looks like. You can also go into the media screen. You can go to comfort stuff, which is basically like your HVAC controls, as well as your heated front seats and your heated steering wheel button. You also have built-in navigation. That's what your navigation screen looks like. Coming down one more, you can go in between your phone stuff. Right now I don't have a connected phone. Then you can also go into your vehicle stuff. So this will bring you into your vehicle controls, like your, simple stuff. So you can turn your auto dimming rear view mirror on or off by the push of that button, or you can pop up your forward facing camera by pressing on that button right there. And then you also have a camera washer. So if you click right here, that will wash the camera as well as the rear glass back there as well. And then you can also display your rear view camera with guidance lines if you wanted to as well. Again, that forward facing camera comes a part of the $2,295 technology group. But then also in your vehicle stuff, you can go into your off-road pages. This is what your off-road pages look like. You have your accessory gauges, pitch and roll stuff, and your front camera. Backing out of that, you can go into your controls again and or your settings. So this is one setting screen. That's a second setting screen, third settings screen, fourth and fifth. So quite a bit of stuff here on the settings screen. And then you can go between your different apps. So you have your media apps, your comfort, your navigation, your phone, your vehicle, your system, and so on and so forth. Anyways, this is what the screen looks like. I'm not going to go throughout that. But anyways, that's kind of about it for this screen. I could spend more time on it, but then that would make this video too long. And this video is probably already going to be decently long. So anyway, coming down, you got your volume knob, you have your tuning knob, you have your fan speed control knob at the center. Dual zone climate control comes standard with the Sahara. And then again, also as standard with the Sahara, you get a heated steering wheel as well as heated front seats, both with 3 levels of adjustability. Coming down here, pressing on this button will bring you into your off-road cruise control button. So basically that's off-road cruise control. Basically you can drive the vehicle with just your accelerator. Then you have your screen off button, which will turn the screen off. You can either touch that button again and the screen will pop on, or you can touch anywhere on the screen and the screen will pop back on. Then you have your traction control button, your auto stop start button on or off, and then you have your mute button and your hazard button. But coming down, you get a 12-volt power outlet here. On this side, you have your media stuff. So you have a USB-C port, a USB-A port, and an auxiliary jack. I believe you only get automatic down windows in the front, so you do not get automatic up or down windows in the back, and you do not get automatic up windows in the front, but you get automatic down windows in the front. And then flipping this down, boom, that will restrict your passenger window privileges. And then coming down a little bit more, one thing I really like about Jeeps is that they still retain the manual transfer case thing. So if you wanted to go into 4 high, you just pull down, and then if you wanted to go into neutral, you pull down, and then all the way down is 4-wheel drive low. But I do believe you have to be in manual or neutral in order to switch between different things. So now we're going into 4 high. But anyway, I'm not going to mess with that because we're not going to be doing any 4-wheel drive stuff. But anyway, you get another great spot. You could set a phone underneath your window controls up top here, or down here, I guess you would say. And then if you wanted to control the transmission manually, you'd have to go into drive, flip this over to the left, and then push up to downshift, pull down to upshift. And then you get 2 cup holders here. You get a great spot. You could set a phone that separates the 2 cup holders. You get a manual emergency brake. Then you get a nicely padded armrest with some accent colored stitching, and it is also leather wrapped. Great spot up here. You could set a phone or something like that, maybe a key fob if you wanted to. But then if you open that all the way up, you get a USB-A port down in here. You also get a nice little light here that is LED, and I'd say about 30% of my forearm fits down in that center console. Working our way over to here, you get an OPU panel to grab onto if you're doing some off-roading. You also get a lockable lower glove box. I will have to say though that the glove box in the Bronco is definitely bigger than the glove box in the Wrangler, but still you can fit what you need to in that glove box down there. Working our way up to here, you get an auto dimming rear view mirror. That auto dimming rear view mirror comes a part of the $2,295 technology group. And then above that, this lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off, and then you have your assist stuff, basically like roadside assistance. And then up top here, you get a universal garage door opener. The universal garage door opener comes standard. If you own a house with 3 different garage bays, you can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with those 3 different buttons. And then opening this up, right here you have a spot you could set a little paper product like a business card or registration or something like that. And then you get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, and then this slides forwards and backwards again to your liking. This is the hardtop. The hardtop does give you the option to get the $595 hardtop headliner, which this vehicle has been optioned with, and basically it's just a headliner here, here, and then back there as well. Again, I said you have the freedom tops up here, so you could take this top off individually or this top off individually, so you could do one at a time, but I do believe you have to take one of them off first in order to take the other one off. I just can't remember which one it is, but yeah, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. But there are a couple things I wanted to walk you guys through option wise that this vehicle has, as well as what comes standard. So with that in mind, the optional stuff include the $1,995 McKinley trimmed power seats, which includes 8-way power front driver and front passenger seat with 4-way power lumbar. This also has the $2,295 technology group, which include the Uconnect 5 with built-in navigation, Alpine premium audio, HD radio, the forward-facing camera, the integrated voice command, auto-dimming rearview mirror, and the 4G Wi-Fi hotspot that is built in. This also has the $595 hardtop headliner, as well as the $170 all-weather floor mats. And last but not least, I already mentioned this, but this also does have the $1,695 body color 3-piece hardtop. A couple, highlighted features that I thought I would, let you guys know that come standard with this vehicle include the 12.3-inch screen, dual zone climate control, heated front seats, and the heated steering wheel. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen for you to take a look at. Basically, you can take a look at all the optional stuff, all the standard stuff, but basically I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sahara is spec'd is $56,965. That is definitely a lot of money, but this Jeep, the best way I can describe it, is the luxury going Jeep. So you pretty much get a really nice interior with, pretty much all the options that you could want. But this is not the off-road version or the off-road Jeep that you'd want to get to go off-roading. But I do want to show you what we got going on in these rear seats before we moved into the driving portion of the video. So I'm gonna take a look at what we got going on back here. Anyway, this is what your rear door panel looks like. Pretty basic, same as what you would find in the front. This is what the rear seats look like. You get a center fold down armrest. Let's step in and see what we got going on back here as far as legroom and knee room. So I am adjusted behind myself. I still have plenty of legroom, plenty of knee room. That's another profile view of the legroom and the knee room I have. I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself, and I also have a ton of headroom left over as well. Over here you get an O-Poop handle. On that side you also get an O-Poop handle. You get 2 HVAC vents, you get your window controls, and then you also get 2 USB-C ports and 2 USB-A ports, and then beneath that you get a 115 volt household power outlet, and then you got a great spot you could set your phone down here if you wanted to charge it and stuff. But I want to show you what the center fold down armrest looks like. So you get 2 cup holders, a spot you could set a phone, another spot you could set a phone, and then you also get the nicely padded armrest. But we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Wrangler Sahara. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now onto the driving portion of the review. And you would think a 4-cylinder wouldn't be all that peppy, but this thing's actually pretty dang peppy. And one of the things I wanted to say, towards the beginning of this video is that if you're looking for a road going Wrangler, this is probably at least one that you want to check out. Reason being is because you don't have any knobby wheels or tires, or no, you don't have knobby wheels, but you have knobby tires. Because you don't have the knobby tires, it makes for a much quieter driving experience, but also just a better driving experience, because with these road going tires, it rides a lot better around town and on the highway and stuff like that. And plus you don't get that loud tire noise that you would with like a Rubicon or a Rubicon 392. And that's why I think that this is like the luxury version of the Wrangler, because you get all the niceties of the interior, especially if you option it up nicely, but then you also get the look of a Jeep, but you don't quite get the Jeepy ride. I mean, it still rides like a Jeep, but it's not quite as Jeepy as like a Rubicon or a Rubicon 392. And I just got out of a Rubicon 392, and that definitely, you know, it rides like a Jeep. There is one option that I really liked with the video that I just did with the Rubicon 392, and that was the Sky One Touch like power moonroof type of thing. Basically, it was like a soft top, but like it looked like a hard top, but like this whole area, like soft top would retract all the way to the back to the trunk area. So basically you'd have an entire roof opened, but you don't have to take off a top that, you know, might be cumbersome, might be heavy. Literally you press a button, and the button was actually right here, and the whole top retracted back and basically gave you a view of the sky, which was awesome. And now that I've experienced that One Touch Sky roof, I don't know if I could get a Wrangler without that option. I mean, it is just an awesome option, and it's so easy because all you do, almost was just an accident. I'm not sure if that got caught on GoPro, but it just makes it so easy to basically take the top off, because all you're doing is pressing a button and it retracts fully back, and it's just a really nice feature. You might want to look into getting it. You know, the Freedom tops are super easy to take off, but you know, if you have kids and the kids also want to have the top off, that might be an option. Again, you might want to just take a look at. I'm not saying that you have to get it because it is expensive. I can't remember if it was like $2,700 or $3,700, so it's definitely a pricey option, but it is well worth it in my opinion, if you know you're willing to spend an extra $3,000 or $4,000. So that is an option you might want to look into getting. But again, this thing is just the best, most road going Wrangler. However, you know, off-road wise, this is the least off-road, you know, this is the worst off-roading Wrangler that you can buy, because you don't get a locking front differential, you don't get a locking even rear differential, and you get these, you know, road going tires. So if you put yourself in any sort of muddy situation, I mean, honestly, it's still a Jeep, so it'd probably still do well. But comparing this to like a Rubicon or a Willys or something like that, those are definitely going to do better in an off-road scenario as compared, you know, to this. But again, this is going to do the best on road, in my opinion. You know, some of you may disagree with that, but this is the most roadworthy vehicle, or roadworthy Wrangler out of the Wrangler lineup. Again, that's my personal opinion. Also, with the 2-liter, it's a very perky engine. It honestly, it's got quite a bit of power. Like, it'll put you back in your seat. Like, I just ripped that and I felt like it had 300 pound-feet of torque, because it's got 295 pound-feet of torque, and it feels like it's got that torque. Nice turn signal, buddy. But anyway, also, I love the new... oh, well, before I get into that, are you supposed to wave? Like, are Gladiators supposed to wave at Wranglers? I think it is. Anyway, I just did. He did. Anyway, a lot of people don't like that. Some people do like that. But back into the infotainment screen, I like the new infotainment screen for 2024. But also, you know, the infotainment screen was an 8-inch screen for 2023, except it had the wired CarPlay and the wired Android Auto. It was a Uconnect 4 system. This is a Uconnect 5 system, so now it has the wireless CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. And it's also a bigger screen. It's just laid out horizontally, which is kind of interesting because in the Rams, it's laid out vertically. So just something I thought I might point out. But yeah, this screen works great, just like the Uconnect 4 screen. It's very responsive, and it's also just very easy to use, very intuitive. Also, I like the way that the 9-3 grip feels. Obviously, you know, this thing has quite a bit of body roll. It is a Wrangler after all, but really, it's not too bad. You know, it's basically got the same amount of body roll that you would find in, you know, a Bronco or something like that. And I did say that this is the most roadworthy variant of the Wrangler, and I truly do believe that. But if you want something that's going to cruise a little bit better on the road, you might want to look into getting a Bronco. You know, looks are subjective, so you could get a Bronco, or you could think the Jeep is better looking, or you could think the Bronco is better looking, you can think the Jeep is better looking. It all comes down to personal preference. But again, this thing rides the best out of pretty much any of the other Wrangler trim levels. But if you want something that's going to be a little bit better on road, you might want to take a look at a Bronco and maybe just compare the two. But I really do like the redesign for the 2024 model year. I think this thing looks really good, and it looks like a Jeep. It's got the classic look to it, whereas, you know, the Bronco also has a relatively classic look to it, but it's definitely, you know, more modern looking than the Jeep. So I think this has a little bit more character because of that. But, you know, again, it's all personal preference, what you like, what you think drives better, and so on and so forth. But that's it for today's video. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm now on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. So if you've taken anything from this video, if you've enjoyed this video in any capacity, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to each and every one of my current subscribers and my future subscribers. I really appreciate your support. You know, you guys are, you know, helping me get towards my dream of, you know, doing this forever. Not forever, but, you know, for a long period of time. And every day that goes by, we get more subscribers, makes the channel more, you know, it gives me the ability to do exactly what I want with this channel. Basically, what I want to do with this channel is be able to buy cars, do builds with cards and stuff like that. And, you know, with your support, that gives me the ability to do so. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.